All right, everybody, welcome back to today's personal development lesson. I am your host, Joel Dunn. Today, we are going to be talking about something huge. We are going to be talking about multiplying leaders, not just followers. How to build that legacy-driven culture in your team. It's one of those things where too many leaders focus on building teams that depend on them rather than teams that grow beyond them. The difference between a temporary moment and long-term legacy is your ability to multiply leaders, not just gather followers. So today, I'm going to equip your team with mindset shifts, a framework, and action steps to develop a culture of leadership multiplication. Because when everyone gets better as a leader, the entire table raises. When you set that standard of leadership in your team, everyone rises to it, and then multiplication happens. So, do you want to build something that lasts beyond you? Have you thought about that? Stop asking, how can I get more people to follow? And start asking things like, how can I raise people up who no longer need me? Because to create a team culture that scales impact by multiplying leadership, it's not just you at the top bottlenecking it all, not being the cap of the capacity of your team. You're going to multiply leadership so that people break through the ceiling. So why most leaders stop at followers is because sometimes it ends up being ego over empowerment. Everybody is susceptible to this. Leaders often feel important when people need them. I know I do. When someone says that they need my help, that makes me feel like I have a purpose. So is that you as a leader? Is that what you're looking for? The people that need you. But if they always need you, you've failed to lead them toward independence. Sometimes leaders fear of replacement. Insecure leaders hoard influence. They don't share it. Secure leaders hand it off, knowing that multiplying leadership allows them to become greater in the levels of leadership. When you become a leader of leaders, and then a leader of leaders who train leaders, you're going up those 5 levels of leadership that John Maxwell talks about. And a lot of times, leaders just lack a framework to do it. Many don't multiply because they've never been taught how to. So are you building a momentum to yourself or a movement that lives beyond you and has impact in other leaders? So there's 3-stage multiplication model that I've worked on and I've done a framework for, and it starts with the I do, we do, you do. It's a transformative shift from control as a manager to leadership as a legacy. So stage 1 is the I do stage. This is where you're modeling it. You lead by example. People need to see what excellence looks like, what high standards look like, what habits look like, what discipline looks like, what resilience look like before they can go out and replicate it. So your role here is you need to demonstrate the consistency, the skills, and the character of the people that you want to bring up. The things that you model are the things that they will follow. So let them see why behind the what. Narrate your decisions. Tell them why you're doing the things that you're doing so they have a better understanding of what it is you're doing. And then stage 2, you move from being the example to being the mentor. We do this. So you lead beside them. Think of this as guided reps. You're the coach, you're correcting, you're encouraging, all in real time. So your role here is to equip, empower, and give them real-time feedback. That's how they get better. If you give them a task and then don't offer feedback on the results, you're missing half of the equation because you're not helping them get better. What if they did it and didn't get any results? You never follow up and you never find out why. And guess what? They end up quitting. They never get better. So you take them on that journey with you and you lead besides them. You let them struggle because before they succeed, they're going to struggle. So you're going to struggle with them. You're going to struggle through it with them, and you're going to help them succeed without you. And then stage 3 is the you do. This is the multiplication portion of it. This is where they lead without you and eventually multiply it to others. So you're doing with, and then you're teaching them to teach others to do it. And that is where the legacy starts. That's where the multiplication starts. And this is one of the hardest parts for leaders because leaders sometimes don't like letting go. I think it's like the helicopter parent. You're a helicopter leader. You don't want to give that control. You don't want to give that over to them. So you're constantly over them. You're constantly watching. You're constantly telling them what to do and then not stepping back and allowing them to do it. So your role here is to step back, but stay available for when they need hope, when they need help, when they need guidance. Because they're going to. You're further down the road than them, so you're going to have answers to them that they're going to need, but instead of going straight to them and staying in role 2, staying in the beside them, the we do the mentorship part, you're now stepping back and allowing them to do it and to multiply it and to lead in their team. So how do you spot and develop future leaders? We talk about this all the time, the 80-20 principle. You're spending 80% of your time on the 20% that are going to be the leaders, the future leaders, the people that are going to multiply. But the question that everyone has is, how do I spot them? How do I know who a future leader is going to be? Well, here are some of the things to look for. Look for ownership, not just talent. Because potential leaders take initiative without being asked. They're going out and doing the things, holding themselves accountable. They're not actually having to have accountability because they're self-accountable. They're the ones going out and doing the work. You may give them the task and they go and they do double what you ask them to. These are the people that are going to rise up as leaders. Because creating real leaders in leadership moments. So don't just give them tasks. Give them an area to grow. Let them own the results, not just execute a role. Tell them that they're a leader, that you're helping them become a better leader. And when you tell people the things, they normally rise up to that standard. So if you're speaking life into and over them and giving them things to do in a leadership role, give them that so that they can exceed at executing it. Teach them to think like owners. Guys, we talk about this all the time. When you start this business, when you join this business, that's exactly what you're doing. You're becoming an entrepreneur. You're leaving the world of employee mindset and then shifting into the entrepreneurship mindset. So you have to say, what is the question that you're going to ask? What do I need to do? What needs to be done? These are active things that leaders and entrepreneurs ask. They don't wait for somebody to tell them to go do it. They're actively looking for what needs to be done, and then they go and do it. And we've taught entire lessons on this. You as a leader need to model servant leadership. Great leaders, they don't ask for the throne. They wash people's feet. See, when you are the one that is multiplying humility, you multiply your leadership. When you multiply serving others, you multiply your influence. So think about this, guys. When you are going through and helping those around you, what does that do for them? That models that they need to go out and create a helping model for others. It's allowing them to see exactly what needs to be done so that you can go help others do the things that they're doing. Guys, this is the thing that's important. When you are going out and you are helping, you are turning those things around to help others. See, when you go and you create this thing, you are going out and changing the lives of the people around you. You're multiplying. You're doing the three things. You're showing them, you're going alongside them, you're doing it with them, and then you're releasing them to go out and do it themselves. So today, take some time, look and see where you're at in multiplying your leadership, multiplying the leaders on your team, because you want to have more leaders and less followers. Guys, go out, apply this with your team. Even if you have one person you're leading, start working this in with the first person that you have and get good at it. So when the next person comes along, it's just that much easier for you. Guys, go out and make it an amazing day. And I hope your day is as awesome as you are.